Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy again, Dill Talk Sports. We're back with another episode. This is going to be a playoff prediction as well as a little quick Week 18 review. Stay tuned. It's going to be a longer episode because I want to, give the quick breakdown. But just starting with Week 18, whatever kind of happened. There wasn't a lot, there wasn't a lot riding on a lot of these games except the last game, which we'll get to, which was Detroit. But Broncos took care of business. Teams that need to take care of business took care of business, except the Steelers, but they already had a playoff berth anyway. So really nothing wrong there. Some teams were sending out their starters: Chiefs, Bills, Eagles. So that also kind of swayed the results a little bit. But an 11-5 week this week. Really excited to dive deep into this playoff bracket too. But let's start off with those week's games. So first game of the week was Baltimore and Cleveland. Baltimore 35, Cleveland 10. Nothing really here surprised me. Cleveland's on a tank. Baltimore's, getting hot at the right time again, going into the playoffs. So, really excited to see what happens with them. Lamar, played really good this year. Derrick Henry, another, great game, 20 carries, 138. So, Baltimore handled this game in the way they should, proving that they're, still good going into the playoffs. They didn't rest their starters, which I in a way I respect. I like that. So, I guess they figure if they lost and the Steelers won, Steelers get the better seed. So in that way, I understand either way they're playing each other. Just the Ravens are home, so that would be a good game. Lamar showed, he's still the second best quarterback in the league. Played to how he should, and that game went well. Next game was the Bengals Steelers. Bengals 19, Steelers 17. This game showed me more really about the Steelers than the Bengals. I kind of knew the Bengals would win this game as I picked. But Joe Burrow and them boys, played really, really good. Jamar Chase is just too unguardable and dominant. So, since he wins this game, unfortunately, they don't get in the playoffs because of how things stacked up. But, that's their own fault. September games matter just as much as December games. I don't care if you went 5-0 in December. What did you do in September when you guys were messing around? It's just unacceptable. You can't start like that every year and expect to get into the playoffs. And people saying the fucking Chiefs were dodging. Shut the fuck up. The Bills bench just started and the fucking Eagles. They're not fucking dodging the Bengals. They're just doing what the fuck they're doing, okay? So shut the fuck up. Gosh, you guys are so soft. Bengals fans are soft, man. I thought Chiefs fans were soft, but Bengals fans are really soft too. But anyways, Steelers, every year they do this. They get hot, they look like they're okay, and then they just kind of stagnate to an average team. So, a couple crucial mistakes on the stretch, a couple big drops by Pickens. This game goes the Steelers' way, and things could go differently. But the Bengals, everyone complained about their defense. Their defense played a lot better at the end of the year, which is why they started winning games. So they fired Uli Anarumo, which I think is a loss for them. I think he's a better coach. He had a bad year, which happens, but sometimes it just happens. So, going off that, Bengals don't get in the playoffs. Steelers in the playoffs. They're going to play Baltimore. We'll dive deeper into that when I get to the playoff prediction in a little bit. But let's jump to the next game. Next game was Panthers-Falcons. Panthers put up 44 points. Falcons put up 38. They lost in overtime. It's a tough effort, but Buccaneers ended up winning, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But I'll tell you what, man, that dude Michael Penix Jr. is the truth. I mean, 21 for 38, 312, 2 touchdowns. I know he had a rushing touchdown as well, which is awesome. Bijan turned into Bijan, 28, 172 touchdowns. Drake London, 10 receptions, 187, 2 touchdowns. So, that offense is really good, man. I hate to say they have a better team than the record says. It might come down to coaching. I don't know. But that team's too good to have that shit happen to them. The Panthers, after Bryce Young got benched, he kind of sat down and came back a lot better, and that's good. And, we like that. So, good on him for, taking that, taking on the chin and being like, I need to be better. So, Panthers, they got 5 wins this year. That's an improvement from last year. They were really, really bad last year. Looks like they kind of got the right pieces in place with Bryce Young, and, they just need to keep on out that team. Dave Canales is a great coach as well. So, excited to see what the Panthers do in the future. Falcons, man, they got to do something. I think Penix is the truth, though. So, they got Penix right. Drake London and Bijan, they'll figure it out. It's just going to take a little bit. Next game, we got the Commanders-Cowboys. Another game I predicted. We went with Commanders. It wasn't a great showing, but they weren't really, they didn't really have much to play for. 12-5 on the year, though. That's an amazing year, especially after they were picking second in the draft last year. Now they went 12-5. So that proves what happens when you get a good quarterback and a good coach and a good system behind him. I mean, We'll get to it, but I'll say it about its next game too. Cowboys, Rico Dowdle, he took over that backfield. He showed that he's, a good back and he can lead in the future. Trey Lance, I see, played this game. Cowboys ended 7-10. That's a bad year for them. They didn't make the playoffs. So I don't know what they're going to do. I think they need to get rid of McCarthy. I think Dak needs to get fully healthy and something's going to happen. But we'll see what happens there. They're another one that it always comes from the top down. It seems like, when they think they have too much power, the team's not as good. So we'll see what happens there and moving forward. But next game, Bears-Packers. I didn't pick that. I went with the Green Bay, and I said 1 week the Bears are going to fuck me when I go against them. And look, this was the week. The Bears, they won that game. They played hard. They actually showed a lot of heart in this game that I haven't seen from them all year. Maybe it's because they're playing the Packers, but it should be every game. You guys got to play for pride. I mean, 5-12 on the year after starting 4-2. So you go 1-10. 1-10, guys, in your last fucking 11 games. That's fucking awful, okay? Awful. But they get the win. Caleb, 21-29, 148, one touchdown. I mean, he didn't have a bad rookie year. For everyone saying he fucking played bad, you guys are tripping. He didn't play that bad. He had a pretty good fucking rookie year. If he gets any semblance of a good coach in there and fucking system, he's going to be a baller, man. And I really liked his response at the end of the season. It seemed like throughout the season he kind of learned, the humbleness of, the Chicago and bringing it back thing. So I think they're going to be all right, man. DJ Moore, 9 receptions, 86 yards, 1 touchdown. Seems like DJ Moore's having a good time, but I got something to say. I got a breaking fucking announcement. Jordan Love is not him. He's amazing against bad teams, but against good teams, I don't know. He balled against Dallas last year. The Packers own Dallas. That's just, he's having to look on his side on that game. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. I'm curious to see how he plays. I'll let you know. But based on what I've seen all this regular season, bad teams Jordan Love is prime Rodgers. Bad or good team Jordan Love is Matt Castle? I don't know. That might be a hot take, but I don't think that's a bad pick. So, Packers, we'll see what happens. Bears, Caleb's ready to get to the offseason. I think that's going to be really helpful for him getting in the lab and kind of figure things out. Next game, Texans-Titans. I picked the Texans win. They should win that game. Dameon Pierce had a great game, 19 carries, 178, 1 touchdown, so he was balling. Tennessee now is the number one pick in the draft. Will Levis, I don't know what they're going to do about that. I don't think this quarterback class is as talented as people say, which I was thinking about that. I will get, after the college football playoffs over and we see everyone who declares for the draft, I'll get a draft breakdown and, top, at least first round, second round, see kind of what happens. Just, hot people, hot topics. So anyways, Texans win that game 10-7. We're going to see how they do in the playoffs. I didn't see the matchups yet, so excited to look at those, but let's just keep going through so I can get a better playoff matchup. Next game, Colts-Jags. Colts won. Jonathan Taylor is looking like prime Jonathan Taylor again. Brian Thomas Jr. is the truth. I saw the Jags fired Doug Peterson, so we'll see what they do there. They just had a bad year. They lost a lot of one-score games, which you could say comes down to coaching, and I don't disagree with that. So they got to do something about that. But Colts really disappointing year for them, especially after they had really high expectations, 8-9. Just don't think it's as good as they should be. Next game, Bills-Patriots. Josh Allen came in one play for to keep his consecutive shootout. Patriots win that game 23-16. I got this wrong, but I didn't think the Bills would lose. Joe Milton, not Jalen Milton. Joe Milton the third, 22 for 29, 241, 1 touchdown. Really impressed me. Yes, it's the second stringers of the Bills, but really looked like he had control of the offense, control of the game, and kind of knew where his reads were and what to do and how to make the right move. So shout out to him. We'll see what happens. I mean, they got their quarterback in Drake May, but if anything, maybe showed who he is. So that's great. Next game, Eagles Giants. Eagles win that game with their back quarterback. T. McKee. I don't know what your first name is, bro, but balled out 27-41, 269, 2 touchdowns. You can't hate that. That's a good game for the kid, man, and got an opportunity to play and showed out. You love those kind of situations. So next game, Buccaneers Saints. Bucks 27, Saints 19. I don't really think this was a tough one. Buccaneers clutched up. Mike Evans got his 1,000 yards to tie the record or beat the record, I think. So shout out Mike Evans, most underrated receiver probably ever. True doesn't get the love he deserves because he's balling. Next game, Broncos-Chiefs. Broncos 38, Chiefs 0. I mean, Broncos dominated. I know they're playing the Chiefs' second team, but Bo Nix 26 for 29, 321, 4 touchdowns. I don't care who you're playing. That's still impressive. So Broncos, they got to go to Buffalo, which we'll get to because, Buffalo's my team. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But let me dive into that. I'm getting through these games quicker because these games are just important, and then we'll go. Next game, Chargers-Raiders. Chargers win that game pretty easily. Justin Herbert, 28 for 36, 346, 2 touchdowns. He balled out. Raiders, they got to figure it out. I don't know what they're going to do. They got a lot of holes, it kind of feels like. I mean, Max Crosby's good, but not really a number one receiver, not really a number one quarterback, seems like. But Quentin Johnston, wow, shout out, bro. 13 receptions, 186. Good game for you, bro. Next game, Seahawks-Rams. Seahawks won that game. I got the game wrong, but they weren't playing for much. I guess the Rams weren't because Jimmy Garoppolo was out there. So 27-41, 334, 2 touchdowns. So that's not a bad game from him. Defense didn't play that good for the Rams, and they lost. Next game, Dolphins-Jets. Jets 32, Dolphins 20. I guess Dolphins just said, fuck it. We're going to lose because, fuck it, Broncos won. So Aaron Rodgers, though, 23 for 36, 274, 4 touchdowns. Kind of showed that he's not that he's kind of a beast towards 500 touchdown pass. So I guess he got those 500 touchdown passes. So he might come back. I don't know if he will. But we'll see, man. I don't think the Jets are going to do better than Aaron Rodgers. Who are you going to get that's better than Aaron Rodgers, honestly? So maybe give it one more try. I don't think Aaron Rodgers retires even if the Jets get rid of him. I don't think he should. I think he's still got a lot left. I just think he's not even fully healthy yet. I think it takes him about 2 years. So next game, Cardinals-Niners. I got that one right. I went with the Cardinals. Kyler balled out. Trey McBride got another touchdown, which is great. Josh Dobbs played for Niners, didn't play bad. And then last game, Lions-Vikings. Lions controlled that game 31-9. I mean, for everyone saying the Lions are not good, I think they just proved that they're fucking good, and you don't want to mess with the Lions. Jared Goff, 27-33, 231, 1 touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, have a day, young man. 23 carries, 139, 3 touchdowns. I also know he had another touchdown, so he had 4 touchdowns. So that's a Dylan Dynasty player right there. Dylan Dynasty player. That's a new one. We're going Dylan Dynasty Players of the Week. Boom, baby. That's who I put on my team. Dylan Dynasty player. Dynasty is my brand. Check it out. All natural gym clothing, gym wear, all that kind of stuff. So Dylan Dynasty Player of the Week is Jahmyr Gibbs this week, week 18. Shout out Jahmyr Gibbs, bro. It's fire. Anyways, week 18. So Lions controlled that game start to finish, showed who they are, showed that they're a really good team, a force to be reckoned with coming into the playoffs. So here we go. Wild card weekend predictions. Wild card weekend. Are we just going to do all the way through the playoffs, or are we going to do wild card weekend? I think we're going to do both. So I'll go wild card weekend predictions, and then I'll just do my playoff bracket predictions. So I'm just going to write this down. So Chiefs are alone. So first game is the Texans and Chargers. So Texans and Chargers. Texans are 4, Chargers are 5 seed. I 100% like the Chargers in that game. So the Chargers are the 5 seed. We're going to play the Chargers are the 5 seed. So Chargers are going to win that game over Houston, right? And then we got Ravens. So why do I think the Chargers are going to win? I think Jim Harbaugh is a better coach. I think Justin Herbert's a better quarterback. I think they're a better team. They have a better team and a better system in place. I think they know what they do well. Their defense is playing really good. They get stops when they need to. Justin Herbert's playing good. Jim Harbaugh, just came off the national championship with Michigan, has that pedigree, that Super Bowl experience. Lost his brother back whenever that was, I think 2012. So Chargers, I think, come that game. I think the Texans have a down year. That O-line's horrible, and Chargers have a good pass rush. So you hate to see that, but I think it's going to happen. Next game we got is Ravens-Steelers. So this game, I think could go either way just because it's divisional, but I got to ride with the Ravens. They're favored by 9.5, which I think is a big spread for another divisional game against the rival, but we got to go with the Ravens, man. I think the Ravens are the better team. I think Lamar's better. I think they have a better coach, Derrick Henry and them. So we'll see what happens. The Steelers could always make a surprise. I guess I already picked one low seed. So they're 5, they're 4, they're 3, and they're 6. So Ravens going to win that game. I think Lamar has a really good game. I think he rushes for about 100 yards and throws for about 200, maybe 175. But we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but really excited to watch that game and see what happens there. Next game is the Bills and the Broncos. So we're just going to go wild card, then we'll go playoffs. So Bills, Broncos. We're going with the Bills, no question. Come on, baby. Josh Allen, the fucking quarterback MVP of the NFL, baby. Josh Allen. He's the man. He's the man, the myth, the legend. You guys saw how that team is without him, so I never want to hear that he shouldn't be the MVP. That team is not good without him. He's he is the engine that makes that car go. That's the best way to put it. So we're going with the Bills in this game. Really like the Bills. Really like Josh Allen. I think they got to put on a show this weekend to show that they can beat the Chiefs. They want to do something, but they're going to win that game. Josh Allen's going to go for 300 yards, probably 3 touchdowns. We're going to go two passing, 1 rushing. He could even go for two rushing because he's a fucking bully like that. Josh Allen he might be the bully of the week. Josh Allen might be the bully of the week because he usually is. But anyways, let's go to the NFC side. Shout out those NFC teams. So we got Rams versus Vikings. Wow, 4 versus 5. Wow. I'm going to go with I think that's another game. I'm going to go with the lower seed. I'm going to go with the Vikings in this game. I like the Vikings a lot in that game. I like what Kevin O'Connell doing. I like what Sam Darnold's doing. They just got their fucking ass kicked. They're not going to let that shit happen again. The Rams, yeah, they benched all their starters, but I just don't know. Their defense can't stop anybody. It's the thing. The Vikings offense is lethal if they can't stop anybody. So we're going to go with the Vikings. We're going to go with Sam Darnold over 300. Over 300. Fuck it. Jay Jett is going for 100. Jordan Addison's probably going for about 75 at least. So we'll see what happens there. I like the Vikings a lot in that game. I think they got something to prove after what happened in Detroit yesterday. So right with that. Wow, next game's a tough one for me. Buccaneers and Commanders. Wow, that's a tough one, man. But you know what? Wow. Am I going to do this? I'm doing this for the Commanders. Go Adam Peters, man. I trust you. I trust Jane Daniels. We're riding with the Commanders in that one. We're going with another upset. I like Jaden Daniels, Adam Peters. Shout out, bro. You know what it is. Then Eagles and Packers. I'll tell you. I'll come back to that. Let me write this down. Eagles, Packers. So this is a rematch of a Week 1 matchup. Anyways, Buccaneers, Commanders. I just think the Commanders are better, man. The Buccaneers, they might find a way to win because that's the type of team they are. They do find ways to win, which I really like and I respect. But I think this is Jaden Daniels' time to prove that he is one of the better rookies of the year. So just as C.J. Stroud did last year where he got a win, I think Jaden Daniels continues that trend, and they go through that. I think they got a really good team there. They know what their system is. Dan Quinn's been in the Super Bowl. Cliff Kingsbury, all them boys. So we'll see what happens. Next game, Eagles-Packers. It's a matchup of Week 1. I got to ride with the Eagles, man. I haven't seen enough from the Packers to say I'm going to go with the Packers. Jordan Love. I like Saquon a lot more than I like anybody. I like Saquon. I like A.J. Brown. I like Devontae and Jalen Hurts and them boys balling. Sirianni is a great coach, whether people want to admit it or not. So it's a really good win. That's a good win for them. So that's my wild card weekend predictions. So again, we're going with the Chargers. We're going with the Ravens. We're going with the Bills. We're going with the Vikings, the Commanders, and the fucking Eagles, man. So if that happens exactly how I think it's going to happen, which is going to be the playoff prediction, so then the Chiefs would play who would the Chiefs play? They'd play the lower seeds, so that would be when they would Chiefs Chargers. So that'd be a tough game for the Chiefs there, and that means that the Bills would play the Ravens in Buffalo, which I love for the Bills. I love for the Bills. So that means we would have the Lions playing the Commanders, and then the Vikings would play the Eagles, and then the Vikings would play the Eagles. Okay. So the first game, Chiefs Chargers. I think that's a really, really tough game for the Chiefs. I do. I wish I could see. We're gonna go through it each week, but I wish I could see how they play the Chargers against the Texans because that's really gonna tell me what it is. I think the Chiefs are a better team. They have the pedigree. They've been in these situations. They've won these situations. Jim Harbaugh has been. The Chargers have not been. That's the only thing, the difference. And I love Andy Reid. So we're going with the Chiefs in that game if it happens. I hate to do it, but I just think that's how it's gonna go. So next game, Bills Ravens. I'm on the Bills. I've been on the Bills all year. I'm a Josh Allen guy. I'm always a Josh Allen guy. Always be him. He is the fucking truth. Played with him at University of Wyoming. That's why I know he's the truth, man. As a person, as a player, anything. Just a great player. I think that'd be a battle. Especially after what happened in the beginning of the season when Derrick Henry ran all over the Bills defense, which is the weak part of their defense. So that would tell me a lot about the Bills too if they could get a stop, if they could stop that. But I think Josh Allen rises to the occasion in the playoffs. People will say no, no, no. He will. Look at his stats. He's averaging 30 points a game. What do you want him to do? Average 40? Yeah, you could say that. Of course, I want him to average 42. But 30 points is a lot in the playoffs. So I think they get that win. I really like what the Bills are doing. I think that's their opportunity. Is it really gonna? Am I really gonna have 1-2, 1-2 in the fucking playoffs this year? Oh man, that hurts because that makes me really not want to do 1-2, 1-2. But I'm gonna ride with it. I got to, man. I just think they're the best teams in the NFL. I mean, anything could happen in any given week, but Lions, Commanders. I love the Commanders, but I just think the Lions win that game, man. I think they're poised. I think they got that experience last year when they lost to the 49ers. I think they got it this year. I mean, the Vikings game really showed me that. They were like, no, you guys are disrespecting us? Nah, man, we got this. They got probably the best team head to toe in the NFL. Same with the Eagles, which we'll get to next. But the Commanders, even if they win win one game, they could surprise the Lions, but I think the Lions are just a better team. And, they've been there before, which always helps. So, that'd be a great season for the Commanders. You'd like that, year one for Adam Peters and Dan Quinn and all them. So can't hate that. But next game would be the Vikings and Eagles, man. I hate to say it, but I'd have to go with the Eagles. I just think Saquon's on a tear this year. I think the team is good. It seems like it's breaking down to kind of how it was a couple years ago when it was the Eagles Chiefs, but I think this year it's going to go the opposite way. I really do. I think it's going to go Detroit and Buffalo. So that would tell you next. So the Bills would play the Chiefs, and the Lions would play the Eagles, man. I think it would go Bills. I think I'm going Bills. I'm going Lions, man. I got it in my heart. That's what I feel. I think the Bills are poised. I think Josh Allen's ready to do it. I think he wants to prove that he can do it, man. And things are, we're going to see every week. I'm going to tell you after next week how I feel about these picks. But the Super Bowl, we're going Bills-Lions, and we're going with the fucking Buffalo Bills. And it might be an emotional pick. It might be a little bit of an emotional pick. But I'm fucking riding with Josh Allen over Jared Goff at the fucking Super Bowl. I'll tell you that. Bills fucking raised the Lombardi fucking trophy. Josh Allen is fucking etched in history, even though he already is, because he's a fucking GOAT. So that's my playoff prediction. That's my Week 18 review. You got the wild card picks. We'll be back in a couple days after the college football playoff. I'll start doing some more draft analysis videos. I'll do some more basketball, NHL, stuff like that. I'm really appreciating y'all joining every single day. This is Dill Talk Sports. This is Week 18 review and playoff prediction with playoff bracket breakdown. Go Bills, and have a great day, everybody. Let's make it a great year.